Good evening and welcome to tonight's main podcast episode. It is season 4, believe it or not, episode 33. I am a Poxy YouTuber. I am joined by two other Poxy YouTubers. Luke, how are you doing?
Yeah, mate, I'm very well after having getting all that testosterone out of my body this afternoon through social
Hey, mate,
media.
what you doing your own time?
Yeah, through social media. Do you know what? It's a bit of my escape. Is social media. I do like to fucking have a little bit of an argument every now and then, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't really deserve what he called me, so I just thought, do you know what? You can have it. You can have some.
Arguing on the internet, something I try and steer clear of. To be honest, it's not something.
It is me these days. It is me. I'm a new man.
Smarty, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Yeah,
I'm all right. I've been enjoying watching my friend down at the bottom there winding people up all day on Twitter. It's been quite funny. I've refrained from joining in myself for a change. I've just been a carefree, just a casual bystander on this occasion. It's been quite funny.
Joe calls us the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah,
the Wu-Tang Clan of the Leeds metaverse, or whatever you want. I don't know.
Podosphere.
Podosphere, yeah.
Podosphere.
I don't know.
We'll make words up.
Sounds about right.
Interesting.
Yeah, things could be worse. You know, I am sponsored by Cruz Campo,
Nice.
San Miguel, and if it needs it, bit of Moretti as well. So if anybody wants to get in touch and send us some free beers, then do so. Other than that, we'll get an intro going and then we'll get into it.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Ought to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds hating bastard.
Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No.
He's a utensil player a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really.
Right. I'm bored of commenting on that start every time we do it. So
Yeah, we need a new one for next season, don't we?
yeah, that's all right. We've done a new one each time anyway, so we're just about due. So there'll be a new
Fed
one.
up of just hearing Jay right at the end, you know what I mean? He does my head in.
I do quite like all the laughing.
No, do you know what? I've grown to like
Yeah.
Jay more and more as I've got to know him, but like that,
It's
just
just-
because he's
you
right at
haven't
the end
got-
of that intro.
You don't like him more, you're just used to him now. Like the
Yeah,
rest of us.
I tolerate him, yeah. And I see
Like
him
a grow.
less now as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just getting rid of.
like a spot on your ass, yeah.
He's like athlete's foot, you just get used to him being there. Just like this irritating little thing. I'm joking.
Okay. So the pair of you were on B&C, if I am not mistaken.
Yes, we were.
I'm not mistaken.
Smarty and I did Smarty a huge favour while he went and put his keys in some bowls. I covered his B&C over the weekend. So he did mine yesterday, which really confused me in the morning when I was trying to line up exactly what was going on yesterday and today, but never mind. We'll get there. So, yeah, I guess I'll say my piece on Hull and we'll do some predictions and then we'll move on. First thing I wanted to say was a tip of the hat to the club and their fans. I thought Hull handled things specifically around, the memories of Chris and Kev and you know the way that, and the ref as well, to bring him into that as well, because I think it deserves a bit of recognition that he was handled really well. I think in the past we've not stopped. When we've turned our backs and we've applauded, the game's not stopped, and there's been kind of, you can understand people just peering over their shoulders and what have you, but I thought it were handled really well all round. The flowers being laid and the memories being shared, but Hull as a club, I think there's been issues in the past. They discouraged their fans from bringing turkey flags and shirts, which they do to other games, and they did. I didn't see any evidence of it, and I thought that they were respectful all through it as well. So, fair play to them and to the ref for stopping the game. I don't think he had much choice. We had possession, and we just made it clear that that's what was happening. But he joined in, and the officials were clapping as well, and I thought he just deserved a bit of recognition.
Yeah,
terms
absolutely. Couldn't say fairer than that.
I didn't know that the players had stopped,
No, I didn't.
I didn't, because I'd turned round, and
Yeah.
obviously I didn't see that they'd stopped.
No, I just heard people around me saying it. I thought he was a pretty big deal, and I thought that he was handled well all through the night. So No, fair play, and I think Rosinha as well. Rosinha? I don't know. He was also, he's quite complimentary, but without being a suck up about it, and there were no bad feelings, even though the game maybe could have gone slightly differently if things had gone another way. But I thought he did pretty well as well. In terms of the game itself, there were a couple of players that I was surprised at. So they played with a bit of a false nine. I thought Carvalho were really poor other than his goal. And let's be fair, he was there to score a goal, and he did. And Philogene was supposedly this wonder player that was rivaling Somerville this season, and he would just nowhere. Yeah,
sounds like a lady product.
I didn't. Just a bit. It reminds me of a rugby league player. Luke will know him. There's somebody.
Stanley Jean.
Yeah.
Nobody ever knew how old he was, because he came over on this Papua New Guinea, I think where Fiji was passport, and he was it said he was I don't know, mid-20s, and he looked about fucking 40. And he just and nobody ever knew his age. He was one of them people, like one of my mates who tells everyone he's in his 20s, but he's 40 because he looks young.
You insist you're in your 30s, mate.
Like me, mid-30s, me kid. That bloke says to me today, "Go buy some sweets for your grandkids."
Nice.
It's because of grey beard.
I've got a bit
Salt,
grey around
salt cat cream.
Yeah, grey in the mouth.
At the bottom. Yeah, grey in the mouth.
It makes me go fast. Right?
Shit, Christ!
All right, smashing
Breaking stuff here. Breaking stuff here.
Balance of the game. I thought that Hull did quite well in terms of retaining possession. I think the ball retention was poor from us, but they didn't really do out with it. I don't know. It was one of them where I think, especially with what happened with Ipswich right before the game, they scored just as I got on concourse and cough, and everyone was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Again, 97. What the fuck? How do they do this every time? And I think that it could have gone quite a different way based on the fan reaction to that, but it didn't in the end. And I didn't. I have listened to some of the BNC back all back.
I keep losing you, Gilly. Sorry, mate.
Hello.
Yeah,
my AirPods aren't charged and died, so hopefully that'll be sorted now. I think it could have been one of those that where we got really tense and nervous, and I was nervous, but I didn't get that feeling from the rest of the ground that it were like, shit, this is going to go wrong. You were both there. Did you? I don't know if you talked about this specific bit. I can't remember you mentioning it. Did you have that level of nerves? But did you also pick it up from the rest of the crowd that the crowd was nervous?
Absolutely. That's one of the things we focused on actually last night. But one of the other things I noticed is that actually how that reflects onto the players, because we saw later on in the game Ampadu and Rodon trying to G the crowd up because they were like, you know what, when it's silent in there, you can hear a pin drop, can't you? You can, and to have almost sort of 40,000 people in there and be able to hear somebody shouting from sort of 20 yards away shouldn't be able to happen. And we've been having to and fro's with Hull fans online as well, haven't we, about how the atmosphere's been shite and that. But I completely put it down to the position we're in. If we were mid-table or had nothing to play for, it'd be rocking in there every week. You know what I mean? It would be, you know what I mean? It's simply down to nerves for me, and that's all I can put it down to, because we've had some belting nights in there, and Easter Monday late kick-off as well. I mean, it's not ideal, but yeah, I think had Ipswich not scored that late winner, I think it'd have been a very different atmosphere as well.
Yeah.
And did anyone have a nervous poo?
I have a few.
A nervous pre-game poo. I know a few people. Yeah, about to say there's a few people saying, "Oh, I needed to go to the loo for a nervous poo." I haven't got that far.
Where did you go when you get to the stadium though? You've got a choice of.
I know. You'd have to do it before.
Andy let me know you're having a nervous poo.
All right.
That's you'd be cutting it close if you did it on the way to the game. You know, I wouldn't want to go in them toilets.
Nah.
I don't anyway, really, if I can help it.
I'd have
but
to
Christ.
stand on seat and squat, I think, if I went in them
Bit
toilets.
grim. Bit grim. Well, that's what Jay has to do anyway. He has to climb on them.
Got little steps going up to it like kids have, them little toddler steps.
Just carries one in his bag. Yeah, there was we did touch on it last night, and we said there was an air of apprehension and a bit of pre-game anxiety and stuff. It's the first game that I kind of thought, this is going to be a tricky one. I didn't really know how it was going to go. But in the end, we got the 3 points, and that's all that matters. But I think we've seen it a lot more since Christmas, since the turn of the year, since we've done so well. And there's kind of an air of expectancy now for us to do well because we have been doing so well. It's kind of like, you know, at which point are we going to slip up? Is it going to be this lot, you know, with the Easter weekend bullshit that we've had, you know, forced down us throats, saying that, we never win on Easter Monday and all that sort of stuff. You know, you've always got them in the back of your mind, haven't you? But at the end of the day, we did well. I think we defended well. They didn't really do a lot with the ball, with all the possession that they had. And end of the day, fuck them. 3-1, boss, cheers. See you later.
Feed him rice.
Feed them rice.
Yeah, I do agree with that. I think, but they were decent in passages. You know, I don't think you can get away from the fact that there's not many sides that come to Ellen Road and dominate possession. I don't think it's happened this season. You know, it's happened away a few times, but not Ellen Road. And I think if you listen to Farker, I think he paid him a lot of respect because he was saying, you know, we were conscious that they lay traps for people and we weren't going to get dragged into that. And I think as fans, that's something, you know, I was getting frustrated in the game. I mean, I got frustrated when we conceded the goal because it was eminently avoidable, if you ask me, in terms of the build-up and the way that it wasn't dealt with. But, you know, we were standing off, I think, quite a lot. And that was with intent. And I don't know whether that's canny and we just need to get used to it or whether that's something that... something going on in background, Smarty.
No.
No?
I had a little tickle that I needed to scratch. It was in a particular place.
I think it's about we can hear your kids.
Oh, can you hear them in the background?
And maybe a dog walking around.
And I'll tell them to shut up 2 seconds. Go on, I'll make me sit.
Shut up!
I don't know what you were talking about. I'm gonna have a look back at that.
They can hear you. He just said, "I can lip read me." I reckon I can get paid for that.
No, I don't know where his little tickle was. That's what I was saying.
on my foot. All like that. Just not trying to do something like that with my hands not showing. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, you know.
Smells like a foot anyway.
Like that, with your back leg going because
that's
like,
what I mean.
Right.
I starting to blink.
Just to sort of elaborate on that, Gilly, I likened them last night, I think, to Yapstam's Reading. Obviously, a bit better and a bit more sort of dominant than that, but they used to have a lot of the ball and do nothing with it. You know, I mean, that Hull side were better than Yapstam's Reading side, no doubts. But they were just to have all that possession and have nothing to show for it. I think they only had 2 shots on target all game.
Yeah, one of them.
They made one save and the other one was a goal. So it goes to show you. Do you know what I mean? I think we've been quite. I don't know if it's just the nature and again going back to our position and you know that realistically we should be up near the top and stuff with the squad we've got and Farker and everything else, but we've got to a point now where we're really expecting to win at most games, especially at Ellen Road, and yeah, it's difficult when you're not winning and it's 1-1 and I don't know why I'm going with this. I had a point and it's completely gone out of my head.
I've got a point to expand on while you think about it. It feels to me, it almost feels like now at this point in the season and the position that we're in the league, regardless of whether we're first, second, or third, it's all so close at the moment while we're not losing. We've got something to lose. You can't win the league now because everybody's winning their games, but you can lose it. So if you lose 2 on the bounce, you know, Southampton only picked up 1 at 1 point over the 2 games over Easter. And that really, really puts them up against it, regardless of the points in hand and all, the games in hand and all of that sort of stuff. That puts them really up against it. And I think it is quite easy for us to be in a position where you can see anybody that loses or loses 1 and draws 1 or loses 2 games, they're pretty much going to be gone. because the other sides just keep winning. So there's something to lose, isn't it? It's like a 1-0 or a 1-all coming towards the 80th minute. You know you're towards the end of the season. You know you're in the position of there could be something great happening here. But the other side to it is you've got something to lose and you could concede and you could slip up at the end.
Yeah, it's come back to me anyway. It's come back to me. Don't speak. Let me try and remember what's come back to me.
Don't speak, can't speak.
Yeah, I know where I was going with that. I think obviously we've been overcritical of ourselves because of the expectation, the levels that we've got used to, basically. I'm trying to say, but we're being overcritical. A lot of people are saying that Hull deserve to win that game. Now, I think they deserve to potentially get something out of it. But when you actually look at the chances we missed as well, with the Joseph one, the Bamford one, we obviously won a penalty. We had some other good chances as well. They weren't creating those type of chances. They were creating space and got a lot of luck in and around the edge of our box. And I think they had 2 which whistled just wide of each of Mesley's posts in the first half. But yeah, it didn't. Although they're in control, I don't think they ever looked like making loads of chances, and that was simply down to the way we defended. As you say, we weren't forced into coming out, and Ampadu and Rodon weren't forced to come out and mark anybody because Gray and Kamara were doing their job defensively, and there just wasn't that space in behind like we were creating. So yeah, I think we probably are being a little bit overcritical online, or some people certainly are of that performance when actually we still won it for 3-1. Now I know it's a freak goal that made it 3-1 and a penalty, but ultimately 9 times out of 10 you don't really win a game 3-1 if you don't deserve to win 3-1, even a little bit of balance of play. So yeah, I'm all right with it.
Had a lot of possession in the middle of the midfield, but they didn't do anything down the wings. And they knocked it about. It was like watching frigging Jap Stam's Reading. They were knocking it about freely at the back, and they were doing well in midfield. But they didn't frigging do out with it, and that's what wins your games. It's all right having all the possession, but if you don't do fuck all with it, then you get Dick 3-1. Bosh, see ya.
Yeah, and the point we've made before several times on the pod already is attacks win your games, but defenses win your titles. Absolutely. And it is because of the way that we're defending and the way that we're able to set up and the way that we're able to transition into attack because the defence are playing well. I thought, in terms of Hull players, I was surprised at how poor they were on the wings and up front. I thought Tyler Morton did pretty well. I thought Louis Coyle did pretty well, especially to say that.
Yeah, the game.
I don't know where he's regularly been playing, but I thought him as a fullback, and he would have.
Yeah, he's a fullback.
He's a right back. Yeah, they played him because what's his face wasn't playing, was he? Greaves, yeah.
Greaves, sorry, yeah.
So he
has been playing well for them.
Yeah, he's been arguably their best player. I think there's talk of him getting into team of the year, and he's been into a lot of teams of the month and stuff like that. So I think they did miss him. But even still, I still think we were good value for a win there, regardless, And I think, Louis Coyle, I was disappointed with Philogene. I expected more from him, but having seen a couple of the Hull fans' remarks on him, he hasn't been the same since for the last 7 or 8 games. Apparently, he started playing for himself, and he's starting to believe his own hype and that when he scored that. Was it a Rabona that weren't actually his? It came off a defender.
It wasn't even on target, was it?
Deflected,
and they gave him the goal. So yeah, ever since then, I think he's been believing his own hype apparently. And Carvalho. I was disappointed with him. Other than getting his goal, I thought he offered him absolutely nothing else.
Yeah, very quiet game. Not to spend too long on it because I know you guys took quite a while on it last night. In terms of our players, man of the match for me would be Byram. I think that Somerville had a really good game. The penalty stuff aside, he was a penalty taker before Perot came on. Perot's a penalty taker if he's on the pitch. Whatever. The important thing is it got finished, and it did get finished. You can't miss him. If you take it off somebody else, you can't miss him, and he had the balls to do it. And you know what? That's the important bit. It goes in back at net, innit? But that aside, I thought he carried the impetus more than anybody else in attack. I thought Rodon had a really good game again, drove us forward. But for me, Byram, especially with some of the comments that had been made afterwards, where he'd gone to Farker and basically said, I can't run anymore. And Farker went, yeah, okay, nice one, and put him back out there anyway. He's, you know, that, and the fact that he still just kept Philogene in his pocket. And when Philogene went over to, I mean, to be fair to Firpo, Philogene went over there. He did nothing against him either. No. So, you know, I thought we defended really well. For me, I'd give it Byron purely because it sounds like he went to Farker and he went, look, I'm fucked. And he went, cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, one of the players I didn't mention last night, because between Lou, Smarty, and myself, we said the same too, Byram and Somerville. I then chipped in with Rodon, who Smarty said was shit. And then the only player I didn't mention, I
accidentally.
I know. But the only player who we didn't really mention, I thought probably had one of his best games defensively, was Junior Firpo, and that was marking Philogene, and then the other lad
came from Barca.
Don't know how to say his name. The other lad, it was the little short lad, wasn't it?
Yeah,
him.
See it now. Yeah, him.
But yeah, I thought Firpo was very good defensively as well. Like, probably, arguably, for one of the first times ever.
Yeah, and fair play to Matteo Joseph, because he just loves it, doesn't he? Get on, give him a kick.
First touch, he just went straight into Kyle. He had to go off injured.
Yeah, I thought he was a bit unlucky with his finish, to be honest, which obviously was far easier than Bamford's, which wouldn't have started any arguments at all. No, he was unlucky. You know, for it to come off the post like that, I think it's a bit unlucky there anyway. Okay, so unless there's anything else to mention, I'll move us off Hull and on to the predictions results for Hull.
Ah, shit, yeah.
Yeah, so we've actually got 2 games to cover. Watford will be dead quick. They got a draw, and nobody predicted a draw, so nobody got any points.
You're not doing your screen thing? No.
Oh, shit.
Auto know better predictions.
Like fucking clockwork.
There it is, mate. There we go.
Cheers, Luke.
Hold on, dog's trying to break into room 2.
Jesus Christ. It's like a zoo in his house, isn't it?
Isn't it?
I don't know what the friggin' hell's going on. Everyone's like, if she's making slime, Little Un's making friggin' slime in kitchen, listening to someone on TV, and dog's trying to break in fucking place.
Just his holidays, innit?
Honestly.
Why don't you go down to left wing at Palace and just work from there?
Yeah, I could do. That's where my sex swing is.
He's it.
Carl's getting excited, look.
Oh, yeah. So,
yeah,
Watford, 0 points all round. We'll just move on. So what we did have is we had, which way around? I'll start at the bottom. Bren went 2-0 leads, which gets him 3 points. Jay went 4-1 leads, which gets him 1 point. Jay's probably still spitting feathers, because Carl went 3-1 lead, so Jay didn't, and Carl gets himself 5 sweet points. Luke went 3-0 leads, gets 1. Smarty went 1-0 leads, gets 1. Jammy, on behalf of the fans, went 2-all draw and gets the fans -3 points.
Get in there. Well done, Jammy.
Nice one, Jammy. You're not going to be welcome in that chat much longer, mate.
And I myself, despite saying the only times I don't go 3-1, we always lose 3-1, and I'm going to go 2-1 and got myself 1 point, and we won 3-1, which means that the fans are currently on 26 points. Carl is on 41. Jay is on 43. Smarty is on 44. Luke is on 47. I'm on 50. And Bren is on 53.
Piss off, Bren, shithouse.
Did he win it last year as well, Bren?
No.
No, Jay won it last year, but we didn't talk about it. He's spitting feathers about that as well.
Look at him in bloody comments.
Oh, sorry.
You can... Oh, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Before... Here we go. There we go. He was saying before the game and after the game, you probably did, Mikhail, blah, blah, blah. You can pick the same as everyone else. I've fallen foul of it myself between me and Bren, because Bren was like, oh, I'm not going the same as Smarty and blah, 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 blah. You can go the same. There's no rules to say that you can't pick the same fucking prediction as someone else, you little shit. So stop.
Exactly. Of which I reminded him before the game that there's no rule that says you can't go the same as somebody else. And he went, yeah, but I want to win. So on your own head be it, Jay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's saying he won't do it again now. Right, Alex.
I hope you get it wrong.
Simon's got his prediction in early. That's 2-2 for fucking fans. Get it clocked. Get it locked in.
No.
It's not. You've got to
Pass
give the
this
green
finger
light.
first once we ask for it. Just because you're saying draw, so to get my mind.
yeah. Fuck
I
'em.
know your game.
I'm not at bottom of the league anyway, Barlston.
No, you're not. And I think the fans would have to go some to go back in the mix. But we'll see. Jay was a long way behind. He got 15 points in 3 games, so you never know. So just to touch on the rest of the games then. So Leicester won one game, lost the other.
Yes.
Ipswich won both. We got a draw and a win, so 4 points. Saints drew and lost, only the 1 point. So, Luke, I'll ask you about Saints first. And this is not a loaded question that refers to somebody on Twitter that was a Southampton account. But are they out of the running now, finally? Are they out of the running?
I think we'd have to be really naive to say they were. We know how these things go, Basham arriving and all that bollocks. So we know things can change overnight. If we all three of us lose at the weekend and Saints win, they're very much back in it. They're only 6 points. I think if they win the 2 games in hand, they're only 6 points behind. So
But one of them's Leicester.
It is.
Yeah, no, fair point. But which would move them even closer to Leicester. So yeah, I think we'd be naive to say that. I think they probably are, honestly, but I think we'd have to be very naive and daft just to write them off because at your own peril. Do you know what I mean? You don't do that, and Farker will certainly be sending that message. So no, I think they probably left themselves a little bit too much work to do. They've got a really condensed fixture list now from now until the end of the season. Yeah, they're probably they're obviously the worst place out of the 4 of us to automatics. But yeah, I wouldn't be putting any money on them to be promoted automatically from this at this stage. No way.
Yeah. It is 11 points now, is that gap. And they've only the 1 game in hand over Leicester. There were 11 points in front of them because they've got, obviously, Leicester have got a game in hand over us. So it's 2 over us, but they're 12 points behind us. So, that's something to make up at this point, even with a couple of games in hand, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So if they beat Leicester, though, if they win the 2 in hand and then the other one that they've got when at the time we're playing, hypothetically say, as I said, if the 3 of us lose, they're only actually 3 points behind us with 5 games left. 5 games left.
I don't think their games in hand come that early, do they?
No, but I'm just saying if they win their next 3 and we,
Yeah.
And don't forget the players' last game of the season as well. I just think it's too much for him to do now. I think Russell Martin's a cock as well, so fuck him.
And we were really nice to their fans when we brought them on.
He's a nice kid. He was a nice kid.
They were all right, weren't they? Except, just one other one I want to mention is we were probably. I think I may have been a little bit too nice to the Leicester fan, given how much they've cheated. So obviously, there's some more information being shared around Leicester and their financial position and so on, Leicester and other clubs. But I think it is fair now to reflect on last season and this season and think that Forest and Everton shouldn't be there at all. And that Leicester, although relegated, also cheated, finished above us, but have used that as impetus to have the season that they have. So, we were nice to their fans, but fuck them, the cheats, and they can fuck off. Is that fair?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd say so.
Good. So we'd said, we'd all. I don't have them in front of me, but we'd all predicted what we thought was going to happen, and the league positions come the end of the season. Smarty, I don't know if you remember what you'd said, but given that we're now in a position where us and Ipswich are on the same number of games and they're 1 point ahead, we've still got a significantly better goal difference than them. Do you see us finishing above Ipswich, and would that make us champions, Smarty?
That's a chuffing call, is that? It's so tight in it at top. I was going to say earlier, we've been clawing these guys back, the 17-point gap that they had at the start of the year even. We've done so well, and now we've added just a little bit of pressure onto ourselves. We've basically, there's three teams in it. It's us, Ipswich and Leicester. We can go back over the Saints, but I think they're done now. I think they'll just have to settle for playoffs, in my opinion. It's a 3-horse race now between us 3. And I think there's equal pressure. I think have Ipswich got statistically the harder of the running now? Have they got the hardest
between them and Leicester? It is. I think if you look at Saints, they're still to play Leicester and us.
But don't we have teams that are further down the bottom of the league, though?
We did have early on. I'm not sure at this stage, but I
think we've still got a couple more, haven't we?
Leicester have got 3 very winnable games coming up. I think they've got Millwall, Birmingham.
They've got Birmingham, then Millwall, then Plymouth.
Plymouth, sorry, yeah. So they're but they're all scrapping for relegation. There's no gimmies in this league at this stage of the season.
No. So like we've got Coventry. I think Sunderland are mid-table and will stay mid-table. I think they're just out of the playoff push now, aren't they? Blackburn are still pushing for playoffs. Where are Borough? Borough are 9th. So Borough are pushing for it as well then.
Yeah.
So there's 3 quite tough games: Blackburn, Coventry, and Borough, and then you've got QPR who are fighting for survival. So they're all quite difficult games for us. There's no easy games. I mean, we always say that there's no easy games.
There's always something to play for, isn't there?
We always say that in the Championship, but I just think the way that we're going, we have to fancy ourselves for automatics. We have to do because we've been playing so well. We haven't lost. We're undefeated this year, and Leicester seem to be slipping up every now and again. I would quite like us to finish top. I would like us to go as champions. And I think I said on the Berardi and Coke, nothing would please me more than Ipswich losing to Huddersfield Town the last game of the season, meaning they probably stay up, and us being promoted as champions. That would just be an absolute cherry on the cake for me.
Get relegated.
Let's face it, we had to do that at Highbury, didn't we, for the scum?
If we're not in the same league, I don't really give a fuck about Huddersfield. Fuck them.
No, I don't. But I just a chat earlier on.
It'd be funny. It'd be funny if they won and they got relegated. Now that would be really funny. Just to really rub the salt in the wounds that they kept us.
An Aguero moment. Aguero.
Yeah.
They think they fucking won. They think they stayed up.
That's it. Yeah. That'd be funny. But no, yeah, I think we're in a really, really good position. But like I say, it's really tight. It's a really close call list. But given our momentum and everything that's going for us at the minute, I think,
You mentioned this, mate, about us playing well. I don't think we're playing particularly well at the minute. I think we're doing really well with the squad we've got available to us.
I think since the last 2 games have been a bit pish. But I think that's because we've been maybe slightly can't even get my words out. Dejected since obviously the internationals and the fact that we've not had the guys haven't had a proper training session together, have they? Whereas now they've got a good stretch.
I think the 2 games before we were relatively poor. We were looking a bit tired because people were saying that actually this international break couldn't have come at a better time for us. Because
it hasn't. It's had the complete opposite effect.
It's had the opposite adverse effect. But actually, I think for the last 4 games, whilst we've still got results and been unbeaten, the sign of a good team is to go through those spells and still win points. We've got the likes of, I know Nonto's out for another couple of weeks or so, as is Roberts, I believe. I think Gruev's the most likely to be back for the weekend.
I thought they were all 2 to 3 weeks.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but when you add those into your team, and it just bolsters that those options so much more, doesn't it? And we look
we massively miss Gruev.
We do, and we've got to consider that if they're out for 3 weeks or whatever it is, they're still got to get back to match fitness, so they're not going to be coming straight back into the sides. So it's going to put us, if we can still get through churn through these next few games with some positive results, it's going to put us in a great position for the running right up to the last 2 or 3, 4 games. Do you know what I mean?
Ipswich have lost Kiefer Moore as well, though. And they're
keeping.
Well, they're making a decision on it, aren't they? Next few games. I had a quick look before the pod to see if there's been any update on Kiefer Moore because he's a big player for them. They really have kicked on since they've added him to their roster.
The thing is, they're not going to be promoting that he's fit or not before playing Norwich away, are they? They're going to keep that tight-lipped.
Yeah.
So
that's true. I mean, just on that, Luke, I know that you've got a couple of mates that Ipswich fans aren't you? So in terms of that derby, we've talked about the fact that they don't go and beat Norwich very often, well, at home or away. And, their record there is pretty poor. I don't know if you got to see any of the Leicester-Norwich game, but Norwich were absolutely abject. It's genuinely the worst Championship performance I've seen this season. It was awful. Is it a complete leveler in that game?
Yeah, absolutely. They're really nervous. I've been texting one of my mates today. He thinks they're not going to get much from it. A draw, they'd be happy with a draw at this stage.
An Ipswich fan would be happy with a draw.
An Ipswich fan would be happy with a draw at this stage. Yeah, he mentioned that he reckons Kiefer Moore might be fit, but he reckons that McKenna's playing games. But yeah, look, we've got.
I mean, there were no games of him the way he went off at weekend.
No, and you don't go off in the first half in arguably the biggest fixture of the season
knackered
to date. Yeah, I mean, it was their biggest fixture of the season to date for Ipswich, because it was a game, if either of them won, that put them in a much better position. And he's there. He's been, I mean, Ipswich singing his praises, saying he's been the best signing for years and that. But you don't go off in the first half with as a precaution in a game like that. I don't think so. No. I think there's probably a little bit more to it. Look, McKenna's not daft. He worked as, I think he was Mourinho's highest coach when he was at Scum, and they finished second in the league under Jose when McKenna was there. So he's no dafty. He's been around a bit, hasn't he? So I think we've just got to concentrate on our own, and I think that's the message Farker will be sending to the players in training. Forget what everybody else does. If we win every game, others will drop points. Or if we go to win every game, there'll be times when others drop points, and we'll capitalise hopefully on that. I still think we'll go up as champions, mate.
I hope we do.
And I won't
take
care
second.
If second.
I quite happily take second.
Yeah. I would.
If you guaranteed me it, I'd take playoff finalist winner if you guaranteed me. But I cannot handle the playoffs again. I just can't.
And
I don't want to go through that shit.
I'll tell you what, it's a tough playoff group this year as well. When you look who's in there, West Brom, Saints are probably going to be in there as well.
And one of either, obviously Watford, if we were there, it wouldn't be. Sunderland. But one of the top three is going to be in there, and it's going to be a difficult one, that isn't it? Because whoever it is, out of us, Leicester, Ipswich, whoever it is, you drop into the playoffs having thought that you had a really good chance of getting automatic promotion, and then you've got to go again. Whereas everybody else, they pretty much know now, right? We're prepping for playoffs. There's Coventry, Preston, they're kind of battling to get into the playoffs, and if any of them do, they'll have a bit of impetus to carry forwards. And the sides that are in there,
they'll have momentum because we'll have the opposite, or whoever one of the top 3 or 4 will certainly have the opposite to the momentum. So they'll have dropped out of automatics at some stage, and also the guys who've made the playoffs will have to have been on a decent run and been picking up points. And it's a real tough one as well, isn't it? When as soon as you get into that territory, it can be a lot of them. I mean, we've seen it with Watford with Watford at Wembley. With Donny Rovers over the years. Derby the other year. It's just not a nice place for Leeds fans.
It's not. It's
and
really
again, it's that expectation when it comes down to the actual nerves and that. It's just so obvious how nervous we are as fans. Like when it comes to those sort of real crucial stages, it'd be great if we could go into the last 2 or 3 games already promoted at second, and we start pulling away.
Yeah.
And we might, we're playing to win the league with another one of the other 2. But I can't see it. I think it's just too tight this year.
Yeah. I mean, Carl said that we're going to be 4 points clear, so, it'll just be a party day. I'd take it. I would take it.
Yeah. Imagine if we guaranteed promotion before the last game of the season.
We'll all got to have moustaches, don't forget. That's
imagine. Fine. Yeah.
Yes,
imagine?
Smarty. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might just get one of them stick-on big, handlebar ones. Just
like
Wario. A lot longer than this. Oh, look at this beast.
One. You got a bit of time.
I could grow a tash. I cut this right down. I could grow a tash, but I'd look.
Right,
imagine me.
You've got time.
Imagine me.
You shave it off next day.
No.
It's only for
look
one
right,
day.
Dick.
Yeah, I mean, Smarty, I don't want to be bearer of bad news.
Listen, we can tell how much I know. I look a dick anyway, but imagine me with a fucking mustache, like was some sort of fucking dickhead from '80s with a pissing mustache slapped across my friggin' lip.
We'll all be doing it together.
Yeah, but you look like dickheads as well. So why would we want to make ourselves look even worse?
Just play the game and stop being a fan.
I can't look as good as Connor Roberts. Did you see the way he turned to the camera the last night?
No.
Bosh, like that. Fucking honestly, he's
I do
fit.
like him.
He's fit. He makes me fizz.
But the Hawaiian shirt will have to come out. As Breen mentions, it'll be a reverse of Hawaiian 5-0 last year. Yeah, we all had the Hawaiian shirts on end of last season, so And it was a great day. So if I'm going as a Taskmaster, I'm going to be having that as well.
Well,
there's a compliment
Thanks,
for you, Smarty. Do you want to read that out?
That is one. Nope, I'm not reading that one out. Freddie. Oh, Christ, I'm getting some bash in here. Look at these. What does it say? Freddie Mercury? Oh, for fuck's sake.
Who's touching that? It's not me.
I'm trying to do it. Freddie Mercury and Muzzy would suit you, Smarty. That's lovely. Thank you very much.
And Lee Fryer says John Aldridge.
Christ. Yeah. He needs to be careful. He needs to be careful what he's saying in the comments. Don't you, Lee? Shithouse.
Oh.
Aye.
Of the Welsh.
Why has he got to be careful?
He's coming on
don't
here.
have any secrets. Ah.
No, you've given the game away. Well, do you want to get him lined up at some point?
I have done. Don't you fucking worry, mate. It's all sorted in background whilst you've been doing whatever you've been doing.
It might have been an idea to let us know.
You know, the guy hosting it and that. Right, we've got some comments started, so I'm just going to spin through with these. Mark Edison says if Hull had a decent strike, it would have been a different outcome. I think he's spelled all wrong. He's put an H up front of it.
What the fuck's going on here?
I don't know what Jason means here. Luke's been rattling cages on X today, says Jason O'Keefe. I don't know what he's on about, mate. Oh, hang on. Somebody popped something up then. Go on, go back. All right, no.
Don't know what that was.
Dave says Farker got his tactics spot on. They didn't really threaten us. I think that's fair. They had a lot of the ball, and Farker said afterwards about this laying traps and whatever else. Their ball retention was good, but they didn't really get at us, and I think that's fair. Southey says only Smarty has the answer. Okay.
You've not been here long, have you?
Liam B. Byron wasn't able to sprint anymore in the game. He kept playing early to the end, made a massive effort, and that for me is the main thrust of why he chose him. Not only did he keep his opposite man really quiet, but it was clear that he was struggling in the game, and he just carried on going and doing what he was doing. So that's a fair point. Andy says Cooper's a club legend, but was good to see Roden and Ampadu at centre back. I think we were all pleased to see that because you can't argue with the results that we've had while they've been playing centre back together.
Is he a legend?
I think he's an icon. He's as close to a legend as we've got at the club at the moment.
I'd say legend. I think I'd say, especially if we get promoted this season. He's been club captain twice, probably been promoted.
He's barely played this season though.
But he's still been the club captain.
I know what you're saying. Well, briefly.
He's cracking the legend.
Yeah,
but he won us the fucking title though. There's a difference. I'm just icon. I would say yes. Legend, maybe not. But that's just my opinion.
No, I think you're a cooperating bastard. Always have been, always will be, and you can get
definitely 100%. But he's still not a legend, in my opinion. But there you go.
I'm going to go for a Chris Kamara mustache.
You need to do that Charles Bronson thing that you did fucking a couple of years ago. That was pretty good.
I've
got a cartoon version of that, but
belter that one, wasn't it?
And I am gonna do the colour. It's a nice little thin bastard, just tilting over the top here. Right time. I'm gonna get it proper done by barbers and then shave it off next day. It's gonna cost me 20 quid.
Stu Nick asked how badly injured is Moore. I think we covered that, and we're not really sure. We think there might be some games being played. There's been no. I think the only updates I've seen is they're not sure if he's going to be available, which to me says he's going to be.
Or is he? I don't know. I mean, you don't. For me, you don't go off in the first half. You know what I mean? Just potentially as precautionary. I just don't see it in a big game because it was a close game at that stage.
That's another one. Ailing. Is he a legend? Is Dallas a legend? Is Click a legend?
Is Berra?
Icons definitely. Legends, probably not.
Would you not say that all that team that squad that got promoted that year after 16 years wasn't?
Listen, when we talk about legends, we talk about people like Hunter. We talk about Gray. We talk about your Strachan.
Is Bielsa a legend?
There we go.
Listen, what I will go back on is the fact that you look at Wilco and the fact that we've not done anything, and the amount of fans that were saying we can't do anything, we can't do something for Bielsa and not do it for Wilco, or actually achieve something at the club. As much as I love Bielsa, we will always talk about Bielsa, but will we always talk about Liam Cooper?
No, that
Can
was
you publish a guide on the difference between legend and icon?
We're covering the whole topic here. We don't have to,
But you mentioned Wilco, and for me, so are you saying that Wilco's not a legend?
I think he is a legend.
But Bielsa's not,
because he actually achieved something at the club.
And Bielsa didn't.
I can't really say about Bielsa. I can't really say about Bielsa because I don't know. Is he a legend? It's a difficult one.
Luke, can I just think Bielsa's a legend?
Don Revy, yes. When you're talking about managers, without trying to completely throw myself under the bus here, managers are probably slightly different to players. But yeah, I can't really say about Bielsa as much as I love the man.
Luke,
but yeah,
Luke,
I think.
Can I just ask you a question? Is Bielsa a club legend?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I would like to say that Bielsa is a legend, but the players aren't.
Struggled with it.
Because I've just completely did myself under that. I can't because I'm trying not to double down and completely contradict myself. But yeah, I would say Bielsa was a legend, but I wouldn't say that Liam Cooper is. But that's, like I say, this is why it's such a good topic, because it's so it's definitely controversial, obviously. But it's a matter of opinion.
What defines a legend then? What between icon and legend? What's the difference?
I think icons, like you say, your Clicks, your Coopers, your Aliens, people that have done something for the club, that have obviously served the club well, that we will remember. But when you talk about actual legends of the club, you can't put Strachan, Gray, Hunter, etc., Bremner in the same class as Liam Cooper. Sorry, you just can't. For me personally, like obviously you two may want to do, and that's absolutely fine. But for me personally, I don't think that's the case.
Is that
maybe second tier?
Is that because you've been told they're legends by somebody else? Like this might be our era. Do you know what I mean?
Winning 3 leagues and putting the club up there at the top of the right at the top of the tree.
I get that.
Winning championship football is certainly not the same sort of level.
That was at a time when we were.
Listen, I'm prepared to put my foot right or my ass right on the line here and say these sort of things, because others won't. They will skirt around the subject.
Because it's wrong.
It's not wrong, mate. It's not wrong, because there's a lot of people who will definitely agree with me. There is a lot of people in the comments that I can see that do agree with me. So it's like I say, it's subjective. And it's down to personal opinion. I've just seen Steve Brown saying Smarty talking census that cornered me out. Then all that. Someone's got me back here, lads. I know Bryn Johnson is as well.
Can you not be a legend if I suppose the question?
The term legend gets thrown around too freely for me.
I think you can be a legend so let's pick a team that doesn't win anything. Do they not have any legends then?
Well,
like who?
Matt Letizia, is he a club legend for Saints? Never won anything there.
Never won a thing.
He might be a club legend to them, but I don't give a fuck about them. I'm talking about my team.
I would say that you define your own legendary status because
I think so, yeah.
On where you are as a club at the time, you've got to think we were out of the Premier, out of the top flight for 16 years. Liam Cooper led us back to the Premier League. How can you not class him as a club legend?
He was the skipper throughout the entire of that. Not only through that, but through all of the shite before it.
Okay. If you guys want to class him as a legend, that's absolutely fine.
Is your Bower a legend?
I say it's subjective. It's subjective, isn't it? He's an icon.
In that?
He's an icon. Radaby's yeah, absolutely.
But your Bower's not.
I've not really thought about that.
He's not liking this, is he?
Like I say, it's a hot topic, and I've got a few hot takes. I don't mind. Like I say, if we're going through the actual nitty gritty, it's one of them, isn't it? Yeboah probably could be classed as a legend because he's done so many legendary things. We're still talking about his goals to this day. I doubt we'll be talking about Liam Cooper in 30 years. And that's my point that I'm trying. No, we won't.
Why won't we?
We won't be talking about Liam Cooper and Luke Ayling. We will not be talking about Luke Ayling and Stuart Dallas in 30 years, mate. We won't. Sorry.
Oh, we will, because we'll be talking about Stewie over that Man City game. We'll be talking about Ayling getting his
talking on
pony.
here. We'll all be
Okay,
getting
well, I tell you what, the fans, newer fans, people that haven't been fucking born yet, that'll be born in another 5 or 10 years, in 30 years' time, will not be talking about Liam Cooper and Stuart Dallas and Luke Ayling. They won't.
No, but that's because you keep saying how shit they are.
Oh, Christ, here we go.
Why are you
Turning the fucking narrative now.
Fine,
Turning the fucking narrative now, aren't we? We're going through all sorts of different fucking angles here.
Cooper,
But you guys, listen. You guys can fucking think what you want, but you know.
Shall we let him off the hook now and move on, Luke?
You can do it. You can say I'm not fucking sweating. There's no sweating here. It's just my opinion, and that's what football. That's why it makes it so good to talk about it, because it's just it's a difference of opinion, and some people share it and some people don't.
Moving on. Southey says Paddy didn't need that 2-week rest, made him lose his touch again. I've seen Paddy take some right pelters, and do you know what? To a certain extent, the miss that happened, let's just leave it at that, the miss that happened, you can be critical of that. You still can't fault his effort, his endeavour. The fact that he still occupies at least 2 defenders at any point on the pitch. He occupies the opposition defence in a way that none of our other players do, with the exception potentially of Mateo Joseph, who I still don't think has even started a championship game. So you can't just have that weight of expectation on him. And you guys did touch on this on the B&C. I still think that as a fan base, we're being a bit too harshly critical on some of the players, especially Paddy, I would say. And him coming back into the side coincided with other changes as well, but signalled the start of the run that we've been on, where we've just not lost this year in the league. Are we just being too... not we, as in us, other than Smarty, who just hates everybody related to Leeds at the moment.
I just fucking hate Leeds.
Leeds hating bastard. But yeah, other than that, as a fan base, is it just... Is it the nerves? I guess is the question. Is it the nerves that people are scared?
Look, it's fine to call out bad performances, and when somebody's not performing, that's fine. You miss a chance like that, you're instantly public enemy number one. If we'd have gone and drawn that game last night, he would have been getting battered all over social media and everywhere else. Back to the after the Stoke game when he missed the penalty, or Leicester last year when he missed a similar chance to the Monday night. But you cannot take away what he brings to that team, regardless of what you say. There is no other centre forward, I would say, arguably in the league, that does a job that Paddy Bamford does. Look, he doesn't get a lot of goals, but that's not his game. You don't get a lot of goals nowadays as a centre forward.
Smarty's going to shit himself now. Tony O'Shea's just...
you sarcastic bastard, Tony.
Tony O'Shea's just got Paddy a legend.
Yeah, and look...
Well, he is, apparently. He is.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Fucking right legend.
So yeah, look, I think we can be critical, but be overcritical if you've got to be. But when you start actually saying that he's been shy and not played well all season and he's not been back to his best, how can have we won 13 out of 15 games since he's been back or something silly?
Yeah.
13 from 15 we've won and drawn 2. We're still unbeaten with him as a number 9. Why would you want to shake that up? Why would you start messing about with that system? Why would you say, let's throw a 21-year-old who's never started a championship game into an away game? A lot of it's experience, and that Paddy could take that on the chin. As soon as he missed that opportunity, the crowd was singing his name. He's used to it. Like, do you know what I mean? He's used to it. So that's why we're not. That's why Farker won't change it. I'll guarantee. I would put a bet on that. I would guarantee that Paddy Bamford starts at number 9, regardless for the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
If he's fit.
If he's fit and available, yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think if you look at, if Somerville takes that ball off Pirot, doesn't score it, he gets pelters. Melier comes
and deservedly so as well.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put yourself in that position, then rightly so.
Yeah, and that was a choice. Melier makes a mistake. He flaps at one. It lands at somebody's feet, and they just roll it into an empty goal. He's going to get pelters. So, our players are going to get pelters if they make major mistakes, but that's part and parcel of being a professional footballer. And they earn mega bucks to be able to do that. Yeah. And it's a dream job for millions of people. So that's just part and parcel of it, isn't it?
I didn't know this, and I'm not, as I openly speak about XG, and I'm not a massive fan about it, but there is a lot to be said for it. People have told me how it works, but I didn't realise the misses were this close. So Paddy's miss was a 0.46 XG, and Joseph's was 0.4.
I didn't know
That's
it was that
not a
close.
lot. I didn't realise it was that close. So when you take that into account, I wish I'd have had that for today on fucking Twitter, I tell you.
Has that come up on Twitter today, has it?
No, it must have done. I haven't seen it. That's the first I've seen of it. So thank you for that, Stu. But yeah, I don't really believe a lot.
Paddy's, he's got a massive fucking load of baggage around from last season still. And any excuse anyone can fathom, they will use it as a stick to frigging batter him with. They will do. Even myself to a degree, I turned round and I'd made my hands when he missed that, the other night. I was like, fucking Patrick Bamford. But I would still start him over Joseph, even though I would like to see Joseph get more minutes, especially when Bamford started to look a bit leggy around the 60th minute yesterday. That's when he should have come on. But yeah, you don't change the system. Like Luke said, when we said this on Brady and Cut last night, you do not fuck around with a system that's working. You just don't
reinvent a wheel. What I mean?
And it's absolutely fantastic that we've got that option.
Yeah.
It's great that we've got that option. It's a shame that we don't have the other options like Connor Roberts, like Gruev not being available, like Nonto not being available, because they've all come into the side and had an impact. We've seen him have an impact. So it's a shame that we don't have them. But it's great that we got Joseph to come on, because it's been a long time us having Paddy as a 9 with no real competition. There's been people that have flitted in and flitted out of the squad. It's not his fault that he's still our starting 9. It just is.
That's it.
James Clark says at the Ipswich game, and it only looked like an impact injury, so should only need a couple of days recovery.
That's key for more he's on about, I think.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. And Gray.
My mate Gray.
I'm hoping, but Gray says Tractor Boy here. Leeds' most attractive side in the Championship, except their coach, ugly as fuck.
Connor Roberts is the best looking man in the Championship.
What's that?
Connor Roberts is the best looking man in the Championship.
The one thing I would say there is there are beautiful looking humans and there are just beautiful humans, and Farker is most definitely a beautiful human, whatever you think of his looks.
Yeah, do you know what? A lot of girls I speak to watch Leeds and that, they think Farker's got something about him, like bit rugged, bit, the long hair, and then he opens his mouth, they said, and like... Ugh.
Do you reckon he washes his hair with Timothy?
Nah, head and shoulders, mate.
Do you reckon he washes it in streams only?
Yeah.
Flicks it around a little bit.
Like the Ginola advert.
Yeah.
Just the last comment for now is Matt Leeds. Any other player would have left the club and put hate on the club, how he was treated, but he stayed and has been great since Jan. We are lucky we have him. Paddy, I think that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, without further ado, do you want to bring him in, Smarty? Do you want to?
No, you're the host.
Okay. So there is a fine, upstanding gentleman,
yes.
a fine figure of a man as well, that has been a kind of supportive cast for us, and we've been a supportive cast for him and what he's got going on, and he forced us, I think, or forced is probably the wrong term. He coerced us with the offer of fried goods.
Yes. Asked us aggressively, I think.
So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to bring Lee into the conversation. Lee is from Andy's Man Club and can now introduce himself. Welcome along, Lee. How are you doing?
No, then, lads, you're right.
Evening, Lee.
Good, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, yeah, good, thank you.
Good stuff, good stuff. So, do you want to talk about the walk first? I'm still suffering, I think.
Yeah, we all got together on the 23rd, which would have been Gary Speed's birthday, and we walked around 13 murals around Leeds, which was roughly 17, 18 miles. So far, our money is still coming in. We've raised 2,754 quid, and there's 500 quid. 500 quid gift aid to go on that, which is amazing.
Oh, good.
I can't thank you lads enough for your ongoing support. It's been brilliant.
It's an absolute pleasure, mate.
Mate, you're the guys doing it. You're the guys on the coal face and offering people the support. You know, I think I can only speak for myself and not the others, but for me, it's a case of, you know, just bringing light to what you're doing is the least we can do. You know, you're the guys that are there and providing that support that people need. It's
massively appreciated. Just, you know, like getting the stigma, you know, knocking down the stigmas, and just, you know, just you mentioning us once, twice, 3 times a week is just massive for us. You mentioned every week we've got 5 venues across Leeds, and they're growing massively all the time. You know, guys are walking through the door, and it's not such a big thing for them to do that anymore.
Yeah, no, good. Absolutely. And, you know, we have threatened to come down, and we've completely abject failed to do so far, but we definitely will.
Good.
We got us to do this bloody walk. He offered us a fried sandwich. I mean, mine was an exceptionally large fried sandwich, I have to say. I don't know if there's a picture. I actually I became famous in the cafes across Leeds for a day or so because the cafe that we'd visited put out a post and said, "Look at the size of this bastard," and it was massive. And I didn't spill a frigging bean, mind I say. Not one bean was spilled.
So you get minus points for that.
You'd eaten it like within maybe 200 yards, and the sandwich.
I reckon so.
Did it look big next to your head?
I absolutely. It looked massive.
No, not next to his head.
I reckon Jay would have needed a stepladder to climb on top of the fucking thing. That's how big it was.
Jay could have swam in it.
The lady had put the sandwich on the corner of a unit, and you could just see it like around the corner. It was just getting bigger and bigger. It was just like it was sneaking a peek round.
Yeah.
It was ginormous.
Yeah.
You greedy
she said, she was like, "Oh, Smarty." And I went, "Me?" And she went, "Do you want black pudding?" I went, "Do you want mushrooms? Do you want this? Do you want that? Get fucking wang it in, lass. Let's go, get on. Come on, let's have you." And it come out like bastard leaning Tower of Pisa. It was huge. Well, I'm going to be fucked after eating that, but I soldiered on. You know.
You're fine, lads.
Really, we've got a question for you. Which one do you facilitate at? Or help out
at Kirkstall, Milford.
Wicked.
Yeah, like 5 across Leeds, and we're looking at another one as well.
Excellent, great. No, that's really good stuff. And you've got another not the same walk. You've got another walk coming up, haven't you? But it's a walk and talk.
We do it at Middleton Park on Sunday at 11 o'clock.
Cool. And you're also going to be talking to Barbers Club and the snooker and pool nights as well, which I think they're quite a regular occurrence as well now.
They are. They're a monthly thing. We're looking to do them on set weekends going forward, like the walk one week and, you know, Barbers Club, etc. So the consecutive weeks is something different for lads to attend, and our facilitators. And
the walks that you do on weekends, that's open to all, and people can bring their families and whatever.
It is, yeah. You know, bring your kids, wife, dog, tortoise, whatever you want. It's fine.
Tortoise, nice. I once saw a guy walking a bloody a meerkat around New Miller Dam. That's not a joke. Genuinely did. I thought it was a ferret at first. I thought, what the fuck's that? And it was stood up on its legs like it's a fucking meerkat.
Have you ever seen the guy that's walking on that ostrich and he says, "It's not an ostrich, it's a fucking emu."
Oh, he's an arsehole.
His name's Wazza. He's a right arsehole. Anyway.
Right, so I've got one more question for you, Lee. Are we going up as fucking champions?
Well, this is the whole reason I've come on, for you lot to reassure me, because I'm fucking shitting myself, to be honest.
Yeah.
There's 6 games left. This weekend looks really interesting with who's, you know, with all the matchups. So I think points could be dropped, including us. I just if you ask me right now if we're going up, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but we are.
Just on Smarty's fence with this legend icon thing as well. I couldn't be in a room with you two, I tell you.
Yeah.
If we go up, I'll do Tash as well.
Brilliant.
So I'm going to break from the norm now, and we will come on to this between us. But I'm going to let the fans down maybe slightly here that are watching here. But Lee, I'm just going to ask you and capture your prediction for this one. So Coventry game, can you give me a scoreline, please?
Sneaky 1-0 win, Bamford.
Oh,
nice.
imagine.
Really
I'd love it if you did score as well. I would love Bamford
Overhead
to
kick
score.
from halfway line.
Just another, we just need another screamer from bloody cup.
I think
That'll
he
do
got
just
a lot
nice.
of he got a lot of grief in last game that he's massively improved over the last 6 or 7 games. He's we're obviously playing with an injury for so long, and he's one game and every fan were on his back, and his class is permanent at the end of the day.
But Smarty don't think he's classy. It's for Leeds.
Oh, Bamford. Bamford.
We'll leave that there. So I've captured that.
We're not doing any more Bamford bashing.
I'll just come around the rest of you. So I've kind of
You shall not.
I've kind of sold myself a little short there because I'm going to have to go next now because Bren's not with us and I'm second in the league. So every time I go 2-1, we win 3-1. But you know what? If I go 2-1 and win 3-1, I'm still happy. So I'm going to go Leeds 2-1. Luke, you're next.
I'm going to go Leeds 2-0.
2-0.
2-0.
And Smarty?
2-0. Also 2-0.
We're going 2-0 as well.
You fucking copying bastard.
Yeah.
All the numbers you could have picked.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm not Jay.
To be fair, Coventry just got beat at home by Cardiff, and Cardiff are shite.
Cardiff are shite. And we are not, and we are very good defensively.
And then they play Southampton away. So, yeah, I think Coventry is so hit and miss, man. I watched them play early in the season. That O'Hare just was absolutely class, but I think he's lost a bit of form, and I think that sort of tied up with how they've been performing, really, because he looked mustard. I would have had him, but I don't really see much coming from Coventry at the minute. What were their results before that? They beat Huddersfield away 3-1. I mean, everyone, do you know what I mean? Beat Wolves in the cup, didn't they?
But they are in 7th, so they do very much have a realistic chance of playoffs.
Spanked Rotherham 5-0 in March.
Beat Wolves in cup.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they've got a semi-final coming up actually against Scum, haven't they?
Is it Scum?
Yeah, Scum. But that's not till sort of the mid
21st. Yeah, I'm just looking now. 21st of April, they've got that. So they've got us, then Saints on 9th, and then Birmingham on 13th before the play at Scum. But yes, they have. You are right. Still in the cup.
Yeah. So that could have took a bit out of them. That's probably coincided with a couple of funny results. I mean, Cardiff shouldn't be beating Coventry at Coventry, but we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's getting into. Sorry, I think it's getting into silly season. Sorry, just getting into silly season at the moment, though, where any results can happen. You know, these last few games you just can't make them up sometimes.
No. It's one of them, isn't it, where because there's no easy games and because everybody's scrapping for every single available point, there's the weight of expectation on the clubs that are at the top is to beat the clubs that are at the bottom. It doesn't work like that. We've seen it just don't work like that. No easy games.
No, and you look at the table, and from Norwich right down to even Cardiff, really, there is only 8 points between 6th and 12th. So any of those from Cardiff upwards can be playing for playoffs, and then you've got everybody down from there. Nah, not really. You've only really got sort of realistically probably up to maybe QPR or Swansea, so 15th downwards. There's only really Watford, Sunderland, and Bristol, I would say, in the league that aren't really playing for much this season.
Yeah,
they're pretty much safe. Cardiff upwards are all playing for playoffs. You've got sort of probably QPR, Swansea downwards that are all potentially relegation fodder, and then there's only 3 teams that are just going through the motions of a few dead rubbers. So, and we've thankfully only got one. Well, we've got one of them to play, haven't we? Unfortunately, we didn't we didn't think Watford were a dead rubber, did we, when we played them? So.
But equally, Sunderland have really struggled without Jack Clark. No, I don't think he's that. I don't think he's all that. I think he's overrated. He's all right at this level, but everything they do goes through him. So it does hurt them, him not being there, even if he's not the world beater that some people would have you believe he is. But you look at QPR, and 3 weeks ago, QPR were 21st. They've won 2 games in a row, and all of a sudden, the 16th, and you're talking like they're on the fringes of just being safe, and it kind of being the easy street for them to end the season. So it shows how quickly it can turn when you're down there. Just getting a couple of results as well, you're instantly up the table. So they're all scrapping for that, and as we've said, there's just no easy games. So I think in terms of just the lineups, then, so Smarty, I'm going to come to you first. Do we know? Do we expect this to line up with what we had? Do you expect Gruev to come back in? I'm just asking for some guesses at this point.
I think if Gruev is available, then absolutely it comes back in. It would be contrary to what we've seen before about players and what we've said before about players coming straight back in from injury. We haven't seen it before. He might get onto the bench if he's fit, but I think we'll pretty much be identical to what we started against Watford and the whole Hull City lads on Monday. Yeah, so I can't really see it changing, if I'm honest.
Watford or Hull? Sorry, because you had Cooper obviously back for it. Watford.
Sorry, yes, we did, didn't we? Yes, fuck Liam Cooper, right off. Thanks. Yeah, just the whole City lineup will do for me. Thank you very
Leeds
much.
legend, you can't do that to him.
Yeah, Leeds legend, you know,
yeah. Luke, anything different on that?
Nah, I think if Gruev's fit and he trains all week, then absolutely. I don't think he comes straight back in if he's coming to the end of his injury by the end of the week. But I think we probably line up exactly the same as we did Monday night, to be fair, unless Gruev has been on the grass.
Bit of a take here from Bryn. What do you reckon to that?
Nah, yeah, I would. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I'd keep Kamara in and Gruev. Yeah.
So you would
Kamara was playing poorly, wasn't he? No, Gray would go back to right back and drop Byram.
Sorry, you got all blurry then when you were talking. Sorry, mate. What did you say?
Just asking you, Smarty, from a standpoint of Gray versus Kamara versus Byram, are you dropping Gray?
I'd probably drop Byram. I mean, it's, given the fact that he said he couldn't run after 45 minutes against Hull City, then you'd be the more likely one to drop out. Great back to right back, and then Gruev back in the middle of the park where it should be, where we've really, really needed him.
I think,
yeah, definitely.
For me, it's shone a light on how important Gruev has become to us in a very short space of time. Because I were looking at the wins we were getting and the way that we were playing, and I was thinking, well, is he that impactful? Is he that good? Because we're playing against sides that we expect to be beating, and Ruter's creating loads of chances, and Bamford and Nonto and James and some of them are scoring loads of chances. Is it really Gruev? I think this has shown that he is that important.
Humongous gaping holes in the middle of our field would suggest so, I think.
Yeah. So just moving off Smarty's gaping hole, Lee. Why do you think Smarty is just such a Leeds hating bastard?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know if it's Leeds. I think it's just Liam Cooper, to be honest.
It's everyone. Everyone, Lee. I hate life.
I'll pass you an easy one, Lee. So from a perspective of what the lads have outlined and the lineup that we had against Hull, do you expect it, Gruev aside, if he's available and he's trained all week, do you expect it to be the same lineup?
Roundabout, yeah. I think Gruev's got to come in. He just offers more balance, and like Smarty said, I think Gray to right back, and that's best team we've had all season, really.
Very good, very good. So I think, just the last one actually, Lee. Calvin Phillips, where would you land if he comes available?
God, he's putting a bit of pressure on you, Lee.
Either a loan or something that financially makes sense. It's not 30 million; it's 10. I'm
sort of from the school of thought that you never go back, really. relationships.
Fucking.
But yeah, fucking basically. No, I think those days have passed, and we've got to look to the future.
What about David Batty?
I'd have him back, yeah.
He came back, didn't he?
But he did come back though.
Yeah, true. Yeah, but it wasn't as
See,
good
this is where you get disassembled live on air, Lee, and they've set you up an absolute belter here because he's asked you a fucking question and then he's going to fucking assassinate you live on YouTube. So crack on, it's your turn. I'm joking. No, we won't do that to you. We won't do that to you, mate.
No, it is a difficult one. I think if you look at the way that he's playing at the moment, he's not playing at the level of the Championship. He's not that good. He's been absolutely abhorrent to watch recently. But yeah, I don't know. He's one of them. If we carry on talking, Smarty's going to try and explain to me how David Batty's not a club legend. So we need to get off it, really. Yeah.
Did David Batty win a title? There you go.
So did Liam Cooper.
I think Phillips is in probably the worst place he's been football-wise.
Which is exactly why we might get him. We might get him. Get him.
Yeah.
You really want him, don't you, Luke? Luke really, really wants Calvin back.
Yeah, I'm not about sentiment. I think it makes perfect sense. He's an upgrade.
I still think he could do a great job for us.
He's an upgrade on what Gruev can do.
Can you believe though we're getting him back as a fixer-upper though? You know, like that.
Yeah, it's unreal, isn't it? From where he was, it is really unreal. Yeah, okay. So I think I had a list of things to talk about. We've gone through that list of things to talk about. Anybody? So I'll just come around to Lee. Is there anything else that you would like to add at this point?
Just again, I'd just like to thank you all, Luke included. Luke, at first person that I got talking to on pod, just for backing us for nearly 3 years. I'm just proud to call you all mates.
Absolutely.
Keep doing the good work, mate. It's fucking
no problem.
Yeah,
right,
keep up the good work, pal. Cheers.
Thanks for popping on, mate. Thanks for spending your time with us.
I hope I haven't done too badly there. We're absolutely shit.
No, you've been fine.
No, you're absolutely fine, mate. Cheers.
Fine, don't worry. Mate, when we first started, there were 5 or 6 people watching us, and now we're bricking it. So, you can see 400 odd people in corner, and I can understand it. No, you've been fine.
Really? Right. Thanks a lot, lad.
See you later, mate.
Cheers, Lee.
Cheers.
I just want to address this comment. Calvin Phillips didn't finish his English.
Oh, Christ, man. Fucking hell.
He's only 28.
He's not finished. He's just
Actually, he's 28 as well, isn't he?
You need to say it in a Scottish, in a Glaswegian
He's
accent.
not finished. He's only 28.
He's not finished.
He's
only 28.
Anti-Nemi.
I tell you what, I don't like making a big deal of it while he's there, but I tell you what, Lee's a great guy. He's just one of them. When you meet him, he's just a great fella. And
he is.
Everything
He was a nice bloke.
Thought he was going to say Luke included, even though he didn't do the walk.
Even though he's a bell end.
That's where I thought he was angling with that. Look, I just want to thank you all so much. Luke included, even though he couldn't be asked walking around Leeds.
Yeah, he wanted to go to a bloody Girls Aloud gig instead of something.
I know. Everyone knows I didn't do it anyway. I think I'm not in any picture. I just wanted to mention just quickly about Coventry's last game. Actually, Liam Kitchen, Leeds legend. Or icon, probably. Scored 2 own goals for Cardiff. So we could do a bit more of that at weekend. And one of them, if you watch it back, he literally just hits it. He's
Is that the one I've seen? I have seen one of them. He just
own goal,
smashes it into top corner.
Smashes it into his own top corner. So yeah, I'm sure he's probably had a bet on that game. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So
I didn't realise this. I thought Liam Davis on purpose. He's just
Davis is a Leeds legend for scoring a non-goal as well.
Lee says he accidentally booted himself out. I didn't even realise. At least he got to say bye.
It's fine.
Just ex-player, Steve says. He's just an ex-player. Yeah, he is. I don't think he ever played for that. I don't even think he got on the bench for the first team, did he?
I'll take your word for it. Fair enough. Smarty, anything else to add?
No.
Any other players that you want to fuck off?
No. I hate Leeds. I hate everyone that plays for Leeds. Anyone that's involved with Leeds.
Oh, shit. Do you know what we haven't done? We haven't had Brent.
Hey, has got a shit tick this week, my little sparrow fact.
I only realised when I went to play outro. Sorry, Bren. But one thing I will say is I haven't got one ready, so I'm hoping that one of you guys has. Luke, you probably have
Luke's
something.
probably got a fucking library from today, from his little rantings
right.
that he's been going on today.
Let me just check my Twitter bookmarks. I'll be back with you in a moment.
I've bookmarked some. Can I also mention, by the way, now that we're talking about the Coventry game, we're also not going to be on before the Sunderland match either, because that's on Tuesday. Do we do predictions for Sunderland?
We might have to.
That's a very good point. I tell you what, fastest finger first. Fans, give us some predictions.
Sunderland at home prediction. Go.
Yeah, Sunderland.
2-2. I saw that somewhere back there. 2-2.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. I'm lying.
I'm go on then. What's yours, Gilly? 4-0. 2-1. Matt leads 2-1.
Matt leads says 2-1.
What are you going, Gilly?
We're at home for that, aren't we?
Yeah,
yes.
I'm going 3-1 because it's been so long since I've gone 3-1, and every time I don't, it is. So
you've gone for that for both games then, 3-1, yeah?
No, I went 2-1 for Cov.
Oh, did you?
So I said it will be 3-1 because I've gone 2-1. But no, I've gone 3-1 lead for Sunderland.
I'm going 2-0 again.
Oh, you fucker! Right, I'll go 3-0. I'm not doing the same as you again. Not for two consecutive games.
It's fine.
I'm going 3. I'll go 3-0.
Matt Leeds said, what was it?
2-1 as well, I think.
2-1.
Yeah. 2-1.
Fuck Sunderland as shit. You better not clip this.
I think my shit take of the week is probably the Hull fans giving it to Dan James, saying to let his country down, and for him to only go and score from.
I quite enjoyed that. To be fair,
53 yards out and seal the game. So yeah, I think that's got to be the shit take of the week. And Hull fans giving it to Dan James about him being a Hull City reject and all that. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be.
Yeah, and I don't begrudge Hull doing that because I've done that against Gummers and Spurs players and Arsenal players. So fuck it. Again, it comes back to the professional footballers that play for the country. They're going to get some shit if they get it wrong. But they're in a privileged position to be able to give it a go at it. So fuck it. Yeah. That's right. I did have one bookmarked.
Jays are in as well.
2-0 or 4-0 Sunderland.
4-0 to Sunderland. That's a big fucking.
Three of us gone 2 fucking nil.
That's what it said.
Game. Fuck off, Jay.
4-0 Sunderland. What a stupid bastard. He's gone 2-0 Coventry and 4-0 Sunderland.
Leeds aren't going to score a goal in the next 2 games. It's a big call, but you know what?
Conceding 6 goals in the next 2 games.
Call yourself a Leeds fan.
Yeah, call yourself a Leeds fan.
He'd be frantically typing on his little miniature keypad now.
He's just got a little calculator. Everyone else has got a keyboard. He uses a calculator to type.
He's got a wand. He's got one of them wands.
Yeah.
Well, to lead you daft twats, it says fucking 4-0 Sunderland and 2-0 Coventry, you little germ. It's there in black and white. Tit. Anyway.
So I did bookmark one that was somebody said, always think that any manager who was a defender will never become a good manager. Maybe a coach for a club, but never a manager. And I did have a bit of an argument about that one. So it's not specifically about Leeds, but it was a pretty poor take for me. Because Bielsa himself, club legend, Smarty.
Absolutely fucking legend, that's right.
Wenger, Pochettino, Pellegrini, Trapattoni, Tuchel, Blanc, Beckenbauer, dirty bastard. Benitez, Klopp, dirty bastard. Steen, Lippi, De Boer, Koeman, Moyes, Howe, Bilic, Shankly, Paisley. And then you've got Pep, Ancelotti, Van Gaal, and Jose that were all DMCs. So, yeah, that's my shit take of the week. He's pretty bad. And then Joe points one out. David O'Leary. It's a good shout. So yeah, that's my entry. But I do think that Luke's pretty much on the money with that. Anything from you, Matt?
No. I'm not that active on Twitter at the moment, but I will be. I'll make a comeback at some point. I nearly got involved with Luke today, bashing that certain individual before. No, he seems to be doing a good enough job on his own, so I left it.
Right, so I reckon we're probably going to call it there. I'm done. I mean, we
Neil
just
Evans was a defender. What did he defend? His fridge.
Fucking
We're
sandwich.
also talking about capable managers, so you know.
He steadied the ship when he took control of us. He didn't do too bad. Best of a bad bunch.
Moving on. So you've absolutely pilloried Bielsa,
Club
Cooper,
legend. Club
Dallas.
legend is Steve Evans, just like Darko
Steve Evans,
Milanic.
a club legend.
Legend.
David
Given
Ockaday, absolute fucking
Steve
legends.
Evans
A lot
with
of
his-
them. Give him
with
Keat
his-
at City.
And his fucking big fucking massive out and going.
Hey,
That's my memory.
tell you what a guy.
Fuck
Legendary
Steve
face,
Evans. Prick. Yeah, no, fuck it. Thanks all. See you in a bit.